Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Adda247. बेल आइकन दबाइए, Adda247 की सारी नोटिफिकेशंस पाइए. Adda247 गवर्नमेंट जॉब.
To all of you, this is Anchal and I welcome you all on this session. Today we will be dealing with error detection, which will have multiple errors in one question. So as you all know, अगर एक question है तो एक question में now the patterns have changed as you know. So you'll have multiple errors in one sentence. ठीक है, आपके एक sentence में कई सारे errors आएंगे. Now error detection can be asked in your examination in different ways. ये अलग अलग तरीके से आपके examination में आ सकता है. It can be based on the slash format, ये slash वाले format में भी आ सकता है. It can be based on a format that has a statement in the question and you have to select the best way of writing this statement from the given 5 options. Or it can come like you have a statement in your question. Now this statement is divided into parts, right? Parts, and A parts improvement is given, then B parts improvement is given, or C parts improvement is given. So that is what we have to do. This can be asked in different pattern. What will help you out here is your details, or you can call it directions. जो डायरेक्शंस लिखे होते हैं वही आपको यहाँ पर हेल्प करते हैं कि आपको क्या सॉल्व करना है और कैसे डील करना है इसको, राइट? मे बी इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी दैट दे ओनली आस्क यू द करेक्ट सेंटेंस. देयर माइट बी अ क्वेश्चन आस्किंग यू द ओनली इनकरेक्ट सेंटेंस इन इट, राइट? ऐसा हो सकता है कि आपसे करेक्ट सेंटेंस ना पूछ के यू हैव 5 ऑप्शंस and you have to select one option which is incorrect. आपको वो select करना हो सकता है जो incorrect हो, जो सही नहीं हो. पहले generally correct पूछता है, हो सकता है incorrect का भी option आ जाए. So read the directions carefully. Directions को बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ना. Other than that आप exam में marks खो सकते हैं, right? So this is one very important thing that you have to take care. And as I've already said, error detection is totally based on grammar, and when we talk about grammar we have certain topics to focus on, like we have adjective, we have verb, we have preposition, we have adverb, and we have tenses. So these are the 5 topics that are quite important and very important in terms of grammar, right? So this is what you have to focus on. So today we'll be dealing with certain questions where you have multiple errors. अब हम question जो deal करेंगे वो multiple errors का question होगा. So to start with this, let's have our first question on screen. Good morning, good morning. Chalo. In these blogs, I have laughed, spit out my coffee, cursed, cried, learned in-value lessons about work and motherhood, and fell in love with hundreds of people I never met. Batao. Okay. चलिए जल्दी से स्टार्ट करो और जल्दी से बताओ क्या यहाँ पर आपको एरर्स लग रही हैं. हाँ, कुछ ना कुछ देखो, एक पार्ट तो हम नया एक्सपेक्ट करके चलते हैं. चाहे कोई भी इंग्लिश का आप टॉपिक ले लो, कोई भी इंग्लिश का एग्जामिनेशन ले लो, एक नया पैटर्न विल बी देयर. ठीक है, सो यू डोंट हैव टू पैनिक ऑन दैट. आपको उसको पैनिक नहीं करना है उसको देख के. ठीक. ए felt is a form of feel. We have 2 different words, feel and fall. Fall का form है fell and felt is a form of feel. इसको change मत करो, interchange मत करो. These are 2 different things. Felt is of feel and fell is of fall. Okay, चलो in value. First error. In these blogs I have laughed. ये सारे blogs में मैं हंसा हूँ. I have laughed. Spit out is correct. बताओ. Yes, I have laughed. Acha, this is called error of parallelism. Okay, this is called error of parallelism. That means if you have 2 or more verbs given in a single sentence, अगर आपके पास 2 या 2 से ज़्यादा verbs होते हैं एक ही sentence में given, so what do you do here? तब आप क्या करते हो बताओ? 2 or more verbs given in a single sentence, then you follow all the verbs in the same form. Same form shall be used. That means अगर यहाँ पर I have लिखा हुआ है, so have के बाद आप चाहे जितनी verbs लगा लो, all of them should be in verbs 3rd form, right? So you have placed laughed at first, which is absolutely correct, right? then you have spit, so it should be spitted, not spit. It should be spitted, not spit, है ना? So first error हो गया, spitted out. My coffee cursed, again you have verb's third form, cursed. Then cried, again cried is verb's third form. Learned in value lessons, now this cannot be there. Why? Because we have, if we say lessons, you know lessons is a noun. Noun से पहले जो लगेगा, what will it be? बताओ. हाँ, नहीं, spitted होता है. We definitely have a word like spitted. चलो बताओ. So we have this word lessons is a noun, and before that you cannot write in value. In value नहीं होगा. It has to be an adjective. That means you will place invaluable, right? तो आपको क्या लगाना है? Invaluable का use करना है यहाँ पर. Coming forward, let's see what other errors do we have. Invaluable lessons about work and motherhood, and fell in love with hundreds of people I never met. Now, if you understand, we have what? Laughed, spitted out, cursed, cried. Cried is again verb's third form. Then we have learned, again verb's third form, and then we have written and, right? उसके बाद हमने उसके बाद हमने क्या लिखा है? And लिखा है. और and के बाद जो आएगा वो भी तो verb की third form ही होगी. This has to be in verb's third form as well, right? This has to be in verb's third form as well. Why? When you use two or more verbs for same subject, that means you're using all these verbs for I. ये सारे verbs आप I के लिए use कर रहे हो. So same form of verb has to be used. That means if this is verb's third form, all of them will be in verb's third form. So laughed, third form, spitted, third form, cursed, third form, cried, third form, learned, third form, then and के बाद जो देगा वो भी तो third form हो जाएगा. Absolutely correct. So instead of writing fell की जगह you will write what? You will write fallen here. Why? Because we need verb's third form here, right? हमें यहाँ पर verb की third form की ज़रूरत है. Clear है? Is it clear? This is called error of parallelism. ठीक है? Error of parallelism यही होती है. So we have in these blocks, I have laughed, हो गया, spitted out my coffee, cursed, cried, learned invaluable lessons about work and motherhood, and fallen in love with hundreds of people I never met. Now, is this correct? बताओ. बताओ. Is it correct? Is the other part correct? Now see, if I'm writing have here, अगर मैं have से sentence start कर रही हूँ, then how is that possible कि I never met अगर लगाओगे? If you place this I never met, what happens? If you place I never met, so met is verb second form, this goes in past tense. Is that possible? Can you form a condition where present perfect and past indefinite will be used together? क्या आप कर सकते हैं? No, absolutely not. So therefore, absolutely correct guys, सबने सही answer दिया है. I can see that. Yes. So we'll have to add have before never, and I have never met will be the correct condition here. Absolutely correct. So altogether we have how many errors? सबसे पहला हो गया हमारा spitted, second is our invaluable, third is fallen, and fourth is have. So we have 4 errors in this sentence. Clear है? बताओ. Is it clear? Any doubt that you have in this question? I don't think. Yeah? Yeah. Chalo. Let's begin with the next question then. And it's equally important to spread the news about companies that treats working parents with fairness and respect, so that we all can try to work at these companies and send a message to others. Treating working parents justly is a valuable employee, recruit and retain advantage. चलो बताओ. कोई बात नहीं, 2 ठीक हुई हैं, never mind. मे बी एग्जाम में 2 ही आ जाएं, बट हियर वी आर देयर टू प्रैक्टिस मोर. हम यहाँ पर ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए हैं, इसलिए हम ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस डील करेंगे. ठीक, चलिए ओके आगे बढ़ते हैं. सॉरी. एंड इट्स इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट टू स्प्रेड. इट्स इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट. इंपॉर्टेंट एन एडजेक्टिव. एडजेक्टिव के पहले इक्वली लिखा है. एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. एंड इट्स इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट टू स्प्रेड द न्यूज about companies that treats. Is that correct? Yes, absolutely correct. When you're writing it's after and, जब आप ये लिख रहे हो, so you need to understand the difference between ITS and IT apostrophe S. When I say ITS, this is a possessive case of pronoun. You can say it's इट्स नट, nuts. That means यहाँ पर ये possession define कर रहा है किसका, हो सकता है किसी कार का नट हो सकता है किसी भी चीज का नट है, right? किसी भी चीज का nuts है. So its is used for possession, but it is a short form. Its it apostrophe s is a short form of it is. और यहाँ पर आपको it is ही लगाना है, right? You have to write it is only. So you will select this and eliminate this from here. And it apostrophe s या फिर it is equally important to spread the news about companies that treat. Okay, that is a relative pronoun. Before this you have companies. When your antecedent या फिर हमारा noun जब plural है तो obvious सी बात है यहाँ जो verb लगा है वो भी plural होना चाहिए, तो हम s को eliminate कर देंगे and we will place treat here, not treats. ठीक है, that treat working parents with fairness and respect so that we all can try to work at these companies and send a message to others. Treating working parents justly is a valuable employee, recruit and retain advantage. Now you tell me what should I place? Respectfully? नहीं, with fairness and respect correct है. With fairness, देखो and से पहले जो आपने लगाया है that ends with NESS. मैंने भी बताया था NESS is noun, है ना? जब ये noun है तो obvious बात है ये भी noun होना चाहिए था, है ना? So यहाँ पर respect लगा हुआ है, respect is a noun. This is absolutely correct. इसमें कोई गलती नहीं है. This is absolutely correct. इसमें कोई गलती नहीं है. But of course we do have an error. हमारे पास और भी errors हैं. वो क्या है? So that we can try to work at these companies and send a message to others treating working parents justly in a valuable employee. बताओ. Justly is correct. There is a word like justly. Justly word होता है. अब देखो employee का क्या होगा? Employee की advantage है, लेकिन किस चीज की? किस चीज की employee की advantage है? It should be recruitment and not recruit. Employee recruitment होना चाहिए कि नहीं? Tell me. It should be employee recruitment या recruit? It should be, yes, it should be justly is a valuable employee recruitment. And if this is recruitment, अगर ये recruitment है तो उसके बाद and के बाद भी you have to place a noun, that means retain नहीं लगाओगे, retention का use करोगे, ठीक है? You will use retention here instead of placing retain. Because and लगा हुआ है और and से पहले और बाद में दोनों same degrees same part of speech use होती है. So therefore it should be and it's. That means it is equally important to spread the news about companies that treat working parents with fairness and respect so that we all can try to work at these companies and send a message to others. Treating working parents justly is a valuable employee recruitment and retention advantage. Got it? So we have 4 errors in this sentence. I know ये last वाला थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ हुआ होगा आपका. I understand that, but ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. If you have 4 errors, if you're marking 2 correctly, that is correct. Okay? We can work more on it. ठीक है? It should be retention and recruitment. Clear? चलो. चलिए, now let's move on to the next question. अब चलते हैं अगले question की तरफ. देखते हैं वहाँ क्या दिया है. Here it is. Over the course of more than 500 columns and 1 lakh comments, I have learnt a lot about how deep we all care about juggling work and family, and I have never learned what any of you looks like. बताओ. Okay, we will talk about justly very soon. But before that, इस question को solve करो. Yes, justly is correct. Justly का use बिल्कुल correct है, उसमें कोई गलती नहीं है, ठीक है? Justly का मतलब क्या होता है? देखो, जैसे आप एक word use करते हो fairly. Fairly word use करते हो, है ना? Be fair with him या फिर act fairly. So fairly is an adjective, adverb, right? तो जिस तरह से आप fairly use करते हैं उस तरह से ही justly का use होता है. These are 2 similar words, ठीक है? कोई ऐसी चीज जो morally correct है, fair है, उसको हम बोलते हैं justly, ठीक है? चलो. Over the course of more than 500 columns and 1 lakh comments, I have learnt a lot. Learnt is galat. See, in one part of the sentence we have written I have learnt, right? In the other part of the sentence we have written but I have never learnt. I have never learned. So placing learnt after learned is correct or placing learned after have is correct? बताओ. प्लेसिंग लर्नड आफ्टर हैव इज करेक्ट या फिर प्लेसिंग लर्नड आफ्टर हैव इज करेक्ट, बताओ। हाँ ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, डीपली भी है, आपका लुक भी है, बट बिफोर दैट मेरे को पहले ये बताइए, ये बताओ लर्नड हैव के बाद लगेगा या लर्नड लगेगा? लर्नड डीपली, अच्छा लर्नड में एरर है, दैट मीन्स यू वांट टू रिप्लेस लर्नड विद लर्नड, राइट? आप ये कहते हो कि लर्नड को हटाकर लर्नड लगा दे, दिस इज व्हाट यू वांट टू से, आर यू श्योर? क्यों प्रीति कंबोज, वाई? अ लॉट ऑफ नहीं, लर्न अ लॉट, मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा है, दैट्स इट। क्या डिफरेंस है? यस, नो, बोथ ऑफ देम आर करेक्ट, both of them are correct. Learned is also considered as verb's third form. Learned is also considered as verb's third form. ये verb की third form भी और second form भी है. Learned verb की second form भी है, third form भी है. Learned verb की third form ही है. ठीक है? So both of them are correct. We need not change it. ये भी सही है और ये भी सही है. इसको चेंज करने की जरूरत नहीं है. चाहे learned लगाओ चाहे learned लगाओ, दोनों verb की third form होते हैं. ठीक है? ठीक है? चलो. So I have learnt a lot about how deep we all care नहीं होता है, how deeply we all care होता है, right? How deeply we all care about juggling work and family. But I have never learned what any of you looks like. Very good. So यहाँ पर any of you के बाद it shouldn't be looks like. यहाँ पर हम क्या लगाएंगे? That you have already told me. Look का use होगा. A lot of नहीं होगा. I have learnt a lot. मतलब मैंने इनसे बहुत कुछ सीखा है. ठीक है, मैंने इससे बहुत कुछ सीखा है. तो ये बोल सकते हो I have learnt a lot from you people. I have learnt a lot about how deeply we all care. That is absolutely correct. ठीक है, ठीक. चलो. So deeply is the word, and then you have look as your correct answers. Over the course of more than 500 columns and 1 lakh comments, I have learned a lot about how deeply we all care about juggling work and family, but I've never learned what any of you look like. That means you have only 2 errors in this sentence. First is deeply and the other is look. ठीक है, सिर्फ 2 errors हैं इस sentence में और कोई भी error नहीं है. Learned और learnt दोनों correct होता है, दोनों verb की third form है, learned verb की second form भी है. ठीक है, clear है? हाँ जी सुजीत, what was your doubt? पूछ लो. दोनों कैसे? दोनों correct है एकता. देखो, I'll tell you one thing. American English and British English are 2 different things, right? American English में learnt is the word that has to be followed and learned is followed in, हाँ, ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश में हमारे पास वर्ड्स जो होते हैं वो दोनों यूज होते हैं. अमेरिकन इंग्लिश वाले सिर्फ लर्न को फॉलो करते हैं, बट वी डेफिनेटली फोकस ऑन लर्न. बट इफ यू प्लेस दिस और दिस, बोथ ऑफ देम आर करेक्ट. गलत दोनों में से कोई नहीं है, दोनों करेक्ट है. ठीक है, ठीक है. चलो, नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन एंड लेट्स सी क्या नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हमारा क्या है. यू गॉट मी? गुड. जगलिंग मीन्स, जगलिंग मतलब किसी चीज में इनडिसाइसिव होना. दैट मीन्स आप कभी फैमिली के बारे में सोचने लगते हो, कभी वर्क के बारे में. वो जगल नहीं करता है, जगलर नहीं होता है. आपने देखा होगा 3-4 बॉल्स लेके वो जगल करते रहते हैं या फिर बॉटल्स लेके जगल करते रहते हैं, तो वो जगलर्स होते हैं, राइट? जो बॉटल्स को या ऐसे जगल करते हैं उसको जगलर्स बोलते हैं. एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल जगलिंग. सो वर्क एंड फैमिली के बीच में हम हमेशा जगल करते रहते हैं. दैट मीन्स हम डिसाइड नहीं कर पाते हम किसके ऊपर ज्यादा फोकस करें. ठीक है, हियर्स द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम यू. दोनों है, लर्न की थर्ड फॉर्म दोनों है लकी. ठीक है, चलो. दिस स्टडी टेक्स इट्स प्लेस alongside earlier research showing that kids who are allowed to serve his own food take small portions than they would typically be served and ate 25% less, and that kids tend to eat more when the portions on their plates have doubled. बताओ. अरे भाई, ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश होती है, इंडियन इंग्लिश कुछ नहीं होती है. इंडिया की भाषा इंग्लिश नहीं है, इंडिया की भाषा हिंदी है. ऐसी बातें कर रहे हो तुम. इंडियन इंग्लिश अपना ही लेकर है. चलो चलो. दिस स्टडी टेक्स its place alongside earlier research. मतलब पहले जो रिसर्च हुई थी उसी तरह से कुछ ये स्टडी भी हुई है. दिस स्टडी takes its place alongside earlier research showing that kids who are allowed to serve his food, now you're talking about kids, right? So kids के साथ आपने R लगाया है, which is absolutely correct, but यहाँ पर there भी लगना चाहिए, which should be correct, not his, है ना? वो his नहीं लगाएंगे. Their own food take small portions than they. अच्छा, what's the second error? बताओ, what's the second error? ये सब लोग there बता रहे हैं, person बता रहे हैं, everybody is telling me this, but tell me one thing. उससे पहले मुझे एक बात बताओ. We have placed small portions के बाद हमने एक चीज लगाई है which is than, right? Small portions than. So why are we using this than for? What are we using this than for? हम इस than को किसके लिए use कर रहे हैं? Allowed to serve his own food, take small portions than. Take small portions. Yes, small. Absolutely correct. Abhi, Kanch and Mintu, that's absolutely correct. So यहाँ पर जो than लगा हुआ है, यहाँ पर जो than लगा हुआ है, this is used for small and this has to be smaller, not small. ये smaller होना चाहिए था. So serve his own food, take smaller portions than they would typically be served, and 25% left नहीं होता है, 25% less होता है, right? It's not percentage less, 25% less होता है, it's not percentage, ठीक है? Percent less, and that kids tend to eat more when the portions on their plates have double. अच्छा ठीक है, have double. पहली चीज, the doer is not given, right? The doer is missing. मतलब जो काम करने वाला है वो missing है. किसने प्लेट में खाना डाला? Who served the food? That is not given, right? So it should be have been doubled. जब उसको खाना दिया जाता है और वो डबल पोर्शन में दिया जाता है तब वो ज्यादा यूज करता है. सो इट शुड बी हैव. हाँ, फोर कंपैरेबल. हाँ, so we have to use person, and next the doer is missing, therefore we have to write the sentence in passive voice. doer नहीं दिया हुआ है इसलिए sentence passive voice में use होगा, और इसीलिए हम क्या कर रहे हैं, on their plates have been doubled का use कर रहे हैं. ठीक है? Yes, absolutely correct. So the correct sentence, altogether the correct sentence will be, the study takes its place alongside earlier research showing that kids who are allowed to serve their own food take smaller portions than they would typically be served, and 25% less, and that kids tend to eat more when the portions on their plates have been doubled. जब उनको double कर दिया जाता है. But who does that? You don't know. So we will use passive form in this sentence. ठीक है? फॉलो होगा क्या इसमें? नहीं 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 नहीं. लकी, I'll tell you something. have या has या had की verb की third form follow करती है. This is also a condition, but this is followed when you have a subject before it and an object after it. जब इससे पहले एक subject और उसके बाद एक object दिया हो, right? But if you can see, none of the subjects is given. कोई doer नहीं given है. कौन काम कर रहा है? That is not given, right? So if verb is or if the subject is not given, what happens? Our sentence will go in verb's third form here. Have will be placed, लेकिन उससे पहले been आ जाएगा. ठीक है? have लगेगा, doubled भी लगेगा, लेकिन been क्यों add हुआ है? Been is added because the doer is not given, subject is not given. ठीक है? Yes, to been V3. Got it? चलिए, अब हम चलते हैं next question की तरफ. Next other. 60 years are too small a period for acquiring new civilizational traits and for molding our DNA. When that happens, we will automatically realize the importance of the rule of law, the true meaning of freedom and democracy, and then we will behave like citizens who will not allow anyone to see their votes, and MPs will not be on sold. Batao. What are the errors in this sentence? Quickly find out. I hope you don't have any error here. I hope you don't have a doubt here, because has, have or had के साथ verb की third form लगती है, but when the doer is given, here we don't have a doer, so therefore we are using verbs third form along with been. ठीक है? चलिए, यहाँ पर बताओ 60 years are too small a period. Absolutely correct. No matter 60 years are a plural noun. ठीक है? ये plural noun है, agreed, है ना? ये प्लूरल नाउन है, agreed. But if you think, if you look further, you have a period which is given for 60 years only. That means plural noun को आपने singular consider कर दिया. This plural noun is considered singular in this sentence. Why? Because you have placed a period for this 60 years, right? So 60 years are नहीं होगा, 60 years is का use करेंगे. 60 years is too small a period for. Now, to के साथ हम for का use नहीं करते. To के साथ हम to का use करते हैं, right? Too small a period to. Now, for के according यहाँ पर acquiring लगा हुआ था because preposition follows a verb in ing form, but to follows a verb in first form, right? So to acquiring भी नहीं होगा, it should be to acquire. It should be to acquire, not acquiring, right? So यहाँ पर 60 years is too small a period to acquire new civilizational traits and for molding. Again, to and के बाद जो for molding दिया हुआ है ये भी इनकरेक्ट हो जाएगा because we have to follow this. और उसके बाद and देखें ये भी 2 plus v1 को ही follow करेगा, right? ये भी तो 2 plus v1 को ही follow करेगा. If this is in 2 plus v1, I told you and के बाद this will also be in 2 plus v1. That means for की जगह पे 2 और molding की जगह पे you will use mold again. ठीक है? So we again have 60 years is too small a period to acquire new civilizational traits and to mold our DNA. When that happens, we will automatically realize the importance of the rule of law, the true meaning of freedom and democracy, and then we will behave like citizens who will not allow anyone to see their votes, and MPs will not be on sold. Batao. Do you think there is any other error in this sentence? आप क्या कह रहे हैं? That या this? That या this? When that happens, हाँ जब वो होगा, that is correct. ठीक है? That is absolutely correct. But quickly tell me, is there any other error that you want to write? Acquires तो नहीं होगा, acquire होता है, verb की first form होती है. Acquires is S और ES वाला form which is used in verb's fifth form, right? Okay. चलो बताओ, जल्दी से बताओ, quickly tell me, do you think there is any other? On sell? नहीं. On sold नहीं होता है, on sale होता है. Absolutely correct. On sale is used, not on sold. Sold word का use नहीं होता है. The MPs will not be on sale का use करेंगे. And one more thing, when you write any one, that means you're talking about only one, right? जब आप anyone की बात करें, that means you're talking about only one. So only one, anyone to see their votes नहीं होगा, anyone to see his votes होगा, right? Yes. His votes भी क्या? His vote ही होगा. That's it. So 60 years are too small a period. 60 years is too small a period to acquire new civilizational traits and to mold our DNA. When that happens, we will automatically realize the importance of the rule of law, the true meaning of freedom and democracy, and then we will behave like citizens who will not allow anyone to see his vote, and MPs will not be on sale. We have 7 errors in this sentence. Can you see that? हमारे sentence में 7 errors थी इसमें, ठीक है? So we have 7 errors in this sentence. So that is what we talk about. These are multiple errors. इनके बारे में हम बात करते हैं. Doubt है, अंकलेश क्या doubt है बताओ? What is the doubt that you have? Right, we have 7 errors. Ma'am, their citizens के लिए नहीं लगा है? नहीं. So, there is used for anyone. Will not allow anyone to see his votes. ठीक है? And then we will behave like citizens who will not allow anyone to see his votes. Tick? Yes. That is correct. 2 plus V1 and V1 not 2 V1. हैं? ये क्या है? 2 plus V1 लगता है ना, 2 के साथ verb की first form लगती है और बाकी सारे prepositions के साथ हम verb की ing form लगाते हैं. ठीक है? ओके इतने सारे एरर्स कोई बात नहीं यार, होता है. चलिए लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. अब चलते हैं अगले क्वेश्चन की तरफ. 7 एरर्स. यस. 2v1 and v1 not 2v1. सत्यम वर्मा, आई डिडंट गेट यू, व्हाट आर यू ट्राइंग टू आस्क? मुझे नहीं समझ में आ रहा आप क्या बोल रहे हो. 2v1 and v1 not 2v1, what is it? 2 प्लस वर्ब की फर्स्ट फॉर्म यूज होती है, ठीक है. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है 2 इज फॉलोड बाय आईएनजी फॉर्म, बट दैट इज जेरेंस व्हेन वी फॉलो दैट, ठीक है. चलो, द प्रॉब्लम, लेकिन हाँ, द प्रॉब्लम विद द मेन स्ट्रीम इंडियन लेफ्ट इज दैट दो दे आर ऑनेस्ट एंड कमिटेड बंच ऑफ पॉलिटिशियंस बट वॉज अनविलिंग टू लुक इनवर्ड to find out what is wrong with Marxism in theory and practice. बताओ, टू सोल्ड नहीं, ऑन सेल होगा, करेक्ट है. इंडिया, द प्रॉब्लम विद द मेन स्ट्रीम इंडिया लेफ्ट, क्या गलती है? 60 years इज होगा, 60 years इज अमृता, क्योंकि हमने लिखा था ना 60 years लिखा है, लेकिन उसके आगे जाके लिखा था अ पीरियड, सो अ पीरियड की वजह से वो सिंगुलर हो गया, ठीक है. Yeah, India left is the problem with the mainstream India left. India left is correct यार. Indian left is correct. उसमें गलती नहीं है. India left is correct. Indian left is sorry. Indian left is correct. India left मत करो उसको. The problem with the mainstream Indian left is that though they are honest. Though they are and honest होगा या फिर क्या लगाओगे? See, honest and committed are adjectives here, right? Honest and committed are adjectives here, right? So हम जो बात करें, जो they शब्द यूज हुआ है, we are using they for what? We are using this they for Indian left, right? हम Indian left के लिए बात कर रहे हैं. We are talking about Indian left here already. तो ये क्या है? They are and honest and committed. आपको यहाँ पर एक आर्टिकल की जरूरत है, because when we use two adjectives for a single subject, we use an article before it. So they are an honest and committed bunch of politicians, but was, okay, bunch of politicians we are talking about, right? So how can we write was here? But they are honest and committed bunch of politicians, but they जो लगा हुआ है, they के according, but के बाद, but they was नहीं होगा, they were unwilling, right? They were unwilling to look inward to find out what is wrong with Marxism in theory and practice. बताओ, yes. R तो क्यों ही लगाओगे भाई, past tense में change करोगे? Of course, the sentence is given in present tense. Sentence present tense में है, were नहीं आएगा, R आएगा, correct. R आएगा, that is absolutely correct. Were का यूज नहीं होगा, it should be but are. The sentence is in present tense. देखो, Indian left is, they are, so how can we write was? We have to write were, but are unwilling to look inward to find out what is wrong with Marxism and in theory and in theory and in, क्या लगाओगे? In theory and in practice. क्या प्रॉब्लम है उसकी थ्योरी में और उसकी प्रैक्टिस में? सो यू हैव टू प्लेस इन विथ प्रैक्टिस एज वेल, राइट? प्रैक्टिकल नहीं होगा, इन प्रैक्टिस होगा, ठीक है, ठीक है. या आर का यूज करेंगे, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, ठीक. यस, द सेंटेंस इज इन प्रेजेंट टेंस, सो यू हैव टू यूज आर हियर, नॉट वर, नॉट वाज. क्लियर? चलो देखो सेंटेंस, एंड प्रैक्टिकल नहीं. What is wrong with Marxism in theory and in practice? In practical नहीं होगा. In theory and practical. Practical is an adjective. If you want to write practical, there has to be a noun after it. अगर practical लगाना चाहते थे तो उसके बाद noun आना चाहिए था, which is not given. Noun नहीं दिया हुआ है तो हम नहीं use करेंगे उसको, बात खत्म, ठीक है. So the sentence will be, the problem with the mainstream Indian left is that though they are an honest and committed bunch of politicians but are unwilling to look inward to find out what is wrong with Marxism in theory and in practice, right? Got it? Yes, absolutely correct. चलिए, so let's take one more question. एक और question ले लेते हैं, ठीक है? Here it is. The candidate of jailed former Bangladesh PM who has filed her nomination papers for the upcoming general election have been rejecting by the Election Commission due to her convictions in 2 graft cases. So this is something that was there in PTI. ठीक है, Press Trust of India में ये पैराग्राफ दिया हुआ था जिसमें से ये क्वेश्चन है. Committed सही है? Yes, absolutely correct. Committed सही है because committed is used as an adjective there. वहाँ पर committed जो use हुआ है वो adjective की तरह use हुआ है, verb की तरह use नहीं हुआ है, इसलिए वो बिल्कुल सही है. ठीक है? Honest and committed. Honest is an adjective और and लगा के जो लगा रहे हो उसके साथ वो भी adjective ही होगा. That is past participle. Adjective के जैसे use हुआ है. ठीक है? वो है कैसे? चलो anyway ये बताओ यहाँ पर क्या लगेगा? Okay. चलिए बताइए. The candidate of jailed. Candidate of that left comment. No. Honest के साथ एंड लगा है, committed के साथ कुछ क्यों नहीं लगा? बिकॉज जब 2 एडजेक्टिव्स एक ही इंसान के लिए यूज होते हैं या फिर एक ही सब्जेक्ट के लिए यूज होते हैं तो हम सिर्फ पहले वाले के आगे ही आर्टिकल लगाते हैं. When you use 2 or more adjectives for a single subject, you place an article only before the first one. Therefore, we use and before honest and no article before committed. ठीक है? चलो यहाँ पर बताओ. The candidate of reject होता है या फिर candidature of? Absolutely correct, Monica and Akashdeep. It should be candidature. Candidature, not candidate. The candidature of jailed former Bangladesh PM who has filed her nomination papers for the upcoming general election. Who has filed, correct है. For the upcoming general election have been rejecting. पहली बात, it shouldn't be have. पहली बात shouldn't be have. Why? Because we are talking about candidature. Candidature has been rejected, right? If candidature is singular, so obviously बात है has लगाओगे. Reject क्या हुआ है? Candidature reject हुआ है ना? So has been rejecting नहीं होगा. You will use rejected here. Why? Because again you don't know who rejected it. आपको नहीं पता किसने reject किया है. Has been reject. Oh, पता है. Now this time you know. But the doer is given using the word by, right? तो दो चीजें होती हैं passive form को use करने की. 2 चीजें होती है या पहली चीज जो अभी मैंने बताई doer is not given, या तो doer दिया ना हो, और दूसरी चीज होती है when doer is introduced by. Introduced जब doer introduced by से होता है, जैसे यहाँ पर है ना, तो भी हम पैसिव वॉइस का यूज करते हैं. तो 2 कंडीशंस हैं पैसिव वॉइस को यूज करने की. एक डूअर दिया ना हो और दूसरी डूअर बाय से इंट्रोड्यूस्ड हो. ठीक है? सो इट शुड बी व्हाट? हैज बीन रिजेक्टेड बाय द इलेक्शन कमीशन ड्यू टू हर convictions in 2 graft cases. Got that? Yes. So it should be the candidature of jailed former Bangladesh PM who has filed her nomination papers for the upcoming general election has been rejected by the election commission due to her convictions in 2 graft cases. Can you tell me what you mean by graft? Yes. Batao. Can you tell me what is the meaning of the word graft? Graft का मतलब क्या होता है? Thank you, Sakshi. बताओ. ग्राफ्ट का मतलब होता है जब कोई प्रेसिडेंट, प्राइम मिनिस्टर, कोई मिनिस्टर या कोई भी अथॉरिटी अपने पार्ट्स का गलत इस्तेमाल करता है ना, तो उसको हम ग्राफ्ट बोलते हैं. ठीक है? सो वही वो कह रहा है ड्यू टू हर कन्विक्शंस इन 2 ग्राफ्ट केसेस. दैट मीन्स शी वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर एंड शी यूज्ड हर अथॉरिटीज फॉर सम इलीगल एक्शंस, या फिर कुछ खराब काम करने के लिए, या फिर उन्होंने एक्सप्लॉइट किया अपने पार्ट्स को. दैट इज व्हाट वी मीन बाय ग्राफ्ट. ओके? या. So that is it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me here. Bye bye. Take care of yourselves. We will meet tomorrow or day after. So, bribery. It's not just bribery. सिर्फ bribery नहीं है. It's that कि आप इसको define करते हो किस तरह से कोई भी ऐसा काम जो authority आपके पास है करने की और आप उसको exploit करो, आप उसको जबरदस्ती use करो खराब काम के लिए. ठीक है? भ्रष्टाचार. Yes, you can say that. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me here. Bye-bye. Take care of yourselves. See you soon and keep that loving smile on your face. All those who haven't subscribed the channel yet, please subscribe the channel and like the video. Bye-bye. Take care.